How is science conducted? Have you ever thought about it? You might think this isn't a difficult question. Scientists come up with ideas, and they carry out experiments to evaluate their accuracy. If their ideas are supported by results of the experiments, it means the accuracy of these ideas has been proven, and they go on to write for books and magazines, right? Karl Popper maintained that this common answer to the question of how science should be conducted was wrong. Karl Popper was born in 1902 in Vienna, Austria. However, because of the world wars that took place during his lifetime, he frequently had to live in other countries. Popper was a philosopher, and the field of philosophy he found most interesting was the philosophy of science. Now you might be asking, what is philosophy of science? Science was in fact born out of philosophy. Scientific thought began when people started asking questions such as, why does the sun rise in the east? How is rain formed? Why do objects fall when dropped from a height? Or, in other words, when humans began to question the laws of nature. Philosophers of science try to answer questions about how science should progress and what its methods should be. Philosophers of science examine questions such as, what should be the purpose of science? What makes science special and different from other fields, such as history or sociology? How much scientific evidence is enough? Certain methods in science are accepted as correct. For example, to prove the law of gravity, a scientist might throw a variety of objects from the third floor of a building and present the fact that all objects, without exception, fell to the ground as proof of the existence of gravity. Or, to prove the hypothesis that all swans are white, a biologist might state that tens of thousands of swans were recorded to be white. However, Popper maintained that such hypotheses do not lead to progress in science. He argued that for a theory to be scientific, it has no need to be verifiable, but falsifiable. This is an important aspect of science. Falsifiability might seem a confusing word, but its meaning is very simple. Going back to the biologist who tried to prove that all swans are white, Popper maintained that the biologist should have tried to falsify the hypothesis instead of traveling the world hoping that every swan he saw would also be white. In other words, this biologist should not have looked for white swans, but for non-white swans.